And how long was this cruise?
Well, it went from that day, September 12th, until the day after the presidential election, so it was a typical 61-day cruise.
Okay, that's very interesting.
It was very interesting, and it was a multi-boat cruise.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about cruising, but it seemed like the boats were good for like a week or 10 days, and then I would go helicopter to helicopter.
Wow,
Boat.
that's classy.
They would have to take. They would come. They would drug me. They would like put gas under my stateroom door.
What do you mean?
And I would be passed out.
Now,
and they'd put me into a body bag, and then put me on what sounded like a helicopter. And then the next day I'd be on a new boat, and then they would all be like, "Oh, this is day one of the cruise." This is a weird bit they do. I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Were you free to come and go from your stateroom?
No, it was a standard cruise where you're locked in your room, but then you're led around wearing sunglasses and a wig to like eat in the crew quarters.
Crew quarters.
And then there was like I couldn't go above decks. It wasn't an above deck cruise.
No, not allowed to go in the sun or the fresh air?
Well, yeah, there was sun and fresh air. There was kind of like they would tow a boat behind. The novelty, the VIP boat, which is sort of like a rubber raft.
And you were in the VIP boat, as they call it?
A couple nights in the VIP.
Couple nights.
They treated me.
Treated
me.
Had you been on a cruise prior to this luxury cruise?
First cruise.
First cruise. And this is how you imagine cruises go?
I guess. I mean, yeah, it's pretty nice. I would love to do it again. I don't have 2 months to do it, but I would love to try something like that.
Next, how was the food? Did you constantly, was there a lot of options food-wise?
Yeah. I mean, you know, Terry, my handler, he's just sort of this.
You had a handler on your
Yeah,
cruise?
he was like an Austrian mercenary. He would bring me food to the stateroom, or we would go to like the disco.
There's a disco on board. A lot of guests on board the disco?
I didn't see any.
No guests.
We were only allowed in there from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., so I don't really know.
Weird time for a nightclub to be open.
Cruise life, man. I don't know.
And you were the only one on the dance floor? Describe that.
Me and Terry. I mean,
you and your handler, an Austrian mercenary.
He could move. I mean, they have a club culture
when you
in
say
Europe, so.
When you say he could move, was he dancing, moving, or was there some other kind of movement involved?
Well, he would dance in the move, and then when people walk by on the hallway, he would like do this and then like do this.
Okay.
It was an Austrian thing, I guess.
So
like dancing. I'm not a club guy. I don't really know.
So, which is fine. So you didn't mind being at the club between 6 and 7 in the morning.
When in Rome.
Right.
Like
or where else were you? Do you know where you were? Speaking of, most people know when I take a cruise, like I'm going to be here, here, here. Where'd you go?
That was a surprise. It was a surprise every time, and then we never went to a place with a name.
No, really?
Which is fun. It was fine by me. We also spent a lot of time, I think, circling the polar cap because it was daytime for 1 month.
Okay, and it was cold, presumably.
It was pretty cold.
So
but they have like a hot tub, so.
Describe the hot tub. Was it filled with guests, kind of having out, mingling, having a good time?
No guests, none of it. You don't have to share the hot tub.
Private.
They put like a tent, they put like a privacy tent, kind of like, you remember the end of E.T.?
Yeah, sure.
They put that around the hot tub.
Okay.
And then they would put a burlap bag over my head.
Interesting. Was the burlap bag, was that some spa treatment, or was that?
Yeah, I assume it was treated with rosemary or something like that. And then, so I get to be in the hot tub, and then they hit me with a tranq dart, and I wake up in my stateroom. They take care of everything. They take care of everything. I didn't even have to walk to the hot tub.
You didn't have to move on your own accord at any moment?
It was amazing. It was carried everywhere.
Carried everywhere.
In a bag.
In a bag. And you saw.
So they didn't skimp on the cruises.
You had some great locations, you hope.
Seems like. I don't know. I wasn't allowed to look over the side of the boat.
Really?
No.